terrific Melbourne day for the continuation of round 20 as the Kangaroos make their way onto the ground in what is a must-win game if they are to participate in the final series of 2002. As I say, good afternoon to Peter Dacos.
Good afternoon, Chris, and good afternoon to everyone out there. Look, important for the Roos after the hiccup last week. I suppose it's not only about the 4 points, it is about percentage, and I'm looking for a big victory tonight. Not only a victory, a big victory. Come out onto the ground, and again, he will be asked to take many marks and hopefully finish off for the Blues.
Well, the Carlton side on the ground, and they do miss some real experience today, Dakes, because Bradley and also Andrew McKay missing for the lineup today.
Merrington's inside 50. Archer looks like he has a job there. So, and just so important for the Roos as well that you go in, the timing of your performances. It's about confidence, and it's about your lead-up play into finals football.
We're underway here at Colonial Stadium. McKernan gets it down. Franchina and Simpson fighting. Big pack of players around the football. The secondary bounce.
Interesting. Hickmott has the job on Brent Harvey. So Hickmott in defence for the Blues.
Manton has picked up Severio Rocker, Beaumont to Pickett, McCartney, Livingston.
Porter and McKernan, who last year played in the opposite colours. McKernan, Simpson couldn't get boot to ball. Fletcher on him. Robbins goes in hard. Makepeace couldn't get an effective handball. Now he does. Grant, little kick around the body. Simpson in good position. Oh, look out, Morrell. Took out Fletcher. Thornton. Kick to half forward at the back. Krennic. Martin almost the clever mark. It's not paid. Boundary throw-in.
Interested to see what the Blues do once the Roos bring Burton on. I'd love to see Dennis Pagan bring Burton on and stick him in a goal square. As we know and we've seen of the Blues in the last 4 or 5 weeks, their lack of height in defence. So ball comes in, Merrington from behind, Porter does well to the front, Simpson kicks smothered, Porter back in there, Robbins, it's free to the Roos. It is, so Porter will come up with it, ex-Blue, Brent Harvey could end up with this. No, he was being covered by Merrington, so Porter and the Roos into attack, half forward it is, Morrell will jump, McKernan, got his hand to it, Corey at ground level does well, into the air, running with a flight, oh, Simpson, great courage. And gets a free for whatever.
It was great courage. He ran with the ball, but I'm not too sure whether the free kick was there on that occasion.
So Roos into attack again, blasting long. McCartney, Rocker was there, Plunkett to mop up, hands off half back. McKernan over the top, Beaumont back to McKernan. So the Blues on the march, off wing and into Lappin. Does beautifully to use a body. Lappin has it just outside 50. Back around the corner, Archer has it for the Roos.
Well played by Archer. Just read that ball off the boot. Knew it was going to drop short. Harvey back in the side this afternoon. Sinclair, who's had a good few weeks, Jess Sinclair. Wants his left side. Half back for the Roos. Or has he done too much? Or he sets Colbert up. Chance for Prendergast. Well played. Christou on the wing. Good chase from Pickett. Great chase from Pickett. Brings him down. Christou a second chance. Great second effort from Pickett. Kick to full forward. Martin at the back. Now a chance for Archer. Captain this afternoon has some time at halfback. Teague provides a shepherd. Kick towards Morrell, who kicked 5 last week for the Kangaroos. Hickmott, the only player there. Missed by Wiggins. Second chance for Wiggins. Murphy under pressure. Oh, duck one tackle. He'll get a free kick, will he? Well, he was lucky, Steve, because he did duck his head.
He was lucky to get the free kick there. He did duck his head, as you said, Michael, and he just needs to watch that.
Blues to Beaumont, just sitting behind wing. In quickly, good kick, Franchina. Still a long way from home, Blues. No score in this game. 2 minutes in. Into the middle, slipping is Hickmott. Players have over recent weeks lost their footing. Well done, a good pressure again, Roos. Out of danger, no one home for the Roos. Beaumont knocked up getting the ball early. Will drive back in. Mick Martin, fist to it was Colbert. Teague at ground level. Archer again over the top to Simpson. Back to Colbert, so merry-go-round. Archer has players in support. Into the ground to Teague. He's wrapped up, hands off. Pretty scrappy at the moment, not pretty football. Over the head, Morrell, well done. In the end, it's a Carlton mark. And sitting back. So Murphy. They'll push it in. Lappin, Makepeace. Front position, Lappin. Well done again, mopping up Harvey back there to Makepeace. On that right foot, now to side Pickett with oodles of room. dropped it in the end. We'll take a bounce. We'll try and draw and just chip over the top. No one home. Manton left rocker, he takes the mark.
He did well there, Manton. He did leave his opponent in Severio rocker, took the gamble and was able to help his teammates out.
Carlton working around the city wing, ends with Cranage. Casual bounce, needs to use the ball inside attacking 50. T going back comfortable.
Already it's evident Carlton are breaking down in their forward 50. They've gone in 5 or 6 times. Not once has there been a stoppage inside their forward 50.
Well, at the moment they're trying to actually bomb the ball in, Sauce, and really they haven't the marking options down here. With McKernan on the ball, they should be trying to run the ball in.
Their crummers have failed to get to the fall of the ball.
Boundary throw in right half forward for the Blues. I'm sure Wayne Britton would be very happy with the competitive nature of his side in the early part of this match. Houghton tries to take it out. Does brilliantly in the end from 60 metres. A thumping kick to the goal square. McKernan pushing the back, is it? No, Mark. Archer. And the kicks to Grant. Carlton fans calling for a free kick. Kick towards Porter. Hickmott just grabbed his arm and he's been penalised. Well, one of those ones that was perhaps just there, and Porter will have the free kick just backward of the wing.
You mentioned Glenn Archer before there, Michael. He's already had a fantastic start, 5 disposals to date.
To half forward, ground level, Cranage, who was great last week against Port Adelaide for the Blues, to Houghton. Hickmott now at half forward, wanted to play on, now does. Kick out wide, McKernan. Martin slipped over, and McKernan, who started in the centre for the opening bounce, then has now moved forward. Will kick from about 45 metres, and he had like nothing better, Steve, than to nail this against his old side.
Oh, no question about that. Two players that know each other very well, McKernan and also Michael Martin, and I guess Corey dearly loved to put a goal on the scoreboard early in this game.
He comes in deliberately, drop punt on its way. First goal of the match to the Blues. Wayne Britton, well, they've started pretty well, the Blues. They've applied great pressure and they have the first goal.
Well, they had, and fortunately, they got a marking target up forward in Corey McKernan. That was the 7th time they've entered inside their 50. This time they were able to find a target in Corey McKernan, and they got the rewards and were able to put the first goal on the scoreboard.
So ball's bounced. Porter got a second helping and pushed it forward. Morello run onto it. No players in support. Yes, there is Grant. Out wide with the handball. He's wrapped up by 2 Blues in the end. Hickmott to mop up. Missed it altogether. Robbins over the top. He'll hand off. Chance for Simpson. Simpson to go at goal. Tight angle. It'll go across goal. Pickett will see it over the line. So minor score. First score to the Roos. 6 minutes into this quarter. First quarter it is, Colonial Stadium. 2 o'clock start for these two teams, and Christou to bring it back in.
Thumping kick right down the middle of the ground. McKernan at the back, couldn't quite hold on. They tied up though the Carlton defence, and a bounce just inside the centre square.
Just a couple of the midfield matchups. Franchina is picking up Harvey. Fletcher has gone to Simpson, and both Grant and Camporelli are posed against each other.
You mentioned, Steve, inside 50, 7 to Carlton, 1 to the Kangaroos. Morel thumps it. There's number 2 as it goes back inside attacking 50. Grant a chance. Great tackle, Christou. He's got Rawlings in support, who runs in from 20 metres and misses. He scraped it through for a behind.
That is just not on. You're talking about a player or players that train 7 days a week. He runs in with no pressure, 20 metres out directly in front, and Rawlings unable to put this one away.
Maybe there might have been a little bit of lack of talk out there also from his fellow teammates. Had plenty of time to steady.
Campriali will bring it in. Now he has to get forward of the ball. Hickmott will mark. Campriali will take it back. They need him firing. Half-back Murphy. Blues now to move forward. They have a goal early in this game. Martin may go, Mickey. No, he doesn't. Lappin misses it. Houghton comes out to meet. He's done well early. Colbert's there for the Roos as usual, and we will get a ball up. So half forward, Blues into attack.
Steve, the thing that's impressed me so far about the Blues, they're taking a risk, playing on and trying to move the ball quickly.
There's no question they've had a bit of problems in getting the ball on quickly throughout the season, and it is an area they're starting to concentrate on. Just get the ball moving, put the opposition under a bit of pressure.
Camprioli, beautiful mark. It was a one-hander. So Prendergast takes it. Lappin will run on that left foot. Is he good enough? It goes up and goes to the left of the goals at the Coventry end. So minor score. They need Lappin certainly on the goal-scoring sheet. Camprioli, good signs for the Blues, starting to get some touches. Here's that mark again. Prendergast, another youngster showing a little bit of form for the Blues.
Kick comes to centre half-back Porter strong. Hands off to Harvey, who's already had picked up many possessions, coming back today after a shoulder injury. Rocker on the wing, long way from home. Loads up with a spiral torpedo that covers 80 metres. Pickett! He's marked it! What a kick from Rocker. That must have gone at least 85 metres. And Pickett's marked just 15 metres from goal on a 45-degree angle.
A couple of great pieces of play there. One was the Mark Porter block to enable Harvey to get the ball over to Rocker. The Rocker kick was sensational. Cleared all the defenders. It was a one-on-one contest with Manton and Pickett here. Pickett was just too strong, got himself in the right position, was able to use his body.
Byron Pickett comes in, and what's he done? I think he may have missed. Another opportunity goes begging for the Kangaroos. Margin 4 points.
Well, 9 minutes of football. Here's that Rocker kick again. And when we all pretty much understand the Roos game plan to go in long, you'd expect a few of the Carlton boys to be dropping back. Christou to bring it in. Into the middle of the ground, McKernan with the sit will jump. Good use of the body. Couldn't bring it down. Simpson did beautifully. Back to goal, turns around and bangs it back in. 3 Carlton players will jump, knock it out. Christou, Murphy to mop up. Blues out of trouble again. Boundary Cranage. Oh, beautifully. Wrong player in Morrell. Back to T. We'll just bomb it in long. Beaumont. Harding will jump. Beaumont will mark. So Blues standing up in defence at the moment. Beaumont, one of the better players on the ground. 6 possession coming up. Into the middle, Cranage, Robbins, pressure, well done. Wiggins out to the outer side. Christou takes it and runs, takes a bounce into half forward. Blues looking for their second, bombs in long. Lappin! Oh, dropped it on the way down. Oh, it's a free to Martin against Merrington. Well, we've done away with the contest in football, and clearly there was one there that should have been allowed to go on. Here's that Lappin jump again. There was nothing in it. Nothing in it, Chris.
Absolutely nothing.
There is one evident thing in this game, is that Carlton are kicking the ball long. They are starting to put the Kangaroos defenders under a bit of pressure, so you know Carlton are going to go very long into their forward 50.
Some good specialist coaching during the week, Sauce, was it?
Don't know.
Colbert from half-back, kick to the wing. Sinclair, oh, Harding slipped over. Oh,
Lucky.
Well, very lucky, because although he slipped over, that was the only reason Hickmott took him high. He's got it on the wing nevertheless. Probing kick towards half forward. Fletcher with the sit at the back. Manton can't control it. Now a chance for Rocker on his left boot from 30. Across the face, he's missed.
Should have given it to David King on the outside, and that would have put space between the Carlton defender who was chasing Rocker and David King, and Rocker could have become the shepherder. King virtually would have ran into an open goal.
Margin 3 points in favour of the Blues.
At least they're getting it forward, the Roos. 4 scoring shots, playing 2. And here's that bit of play again. Plunkett will mark. Blues ready to move it out. Plunkett waits. Christou cross goal. It's that outer side. The Blues head. He goes back inboard. Danger. Knocked away. King gets a go at it. Unguarded goal square and a minor score again.
Just a classic example there, Dakes, where you've got to come and meet the ball and try and take it at its highest point. And Hickmott was just caught waiting there for it.
Yep.
The kick wasn't a great kick, but it was great anticipation by Adam Simpson then.
Carlton bring it in. Wiggins. Ooh, wobbly old kick. Franchita made it very hard for him. He did very well. Gives Murphy a chance. Shepherd, well played. Prendergast. Murphy can't get round Archer. Sinclair. His handball to Teague was also dubious. Sinclair backs up though, well played. He's got some zip and some pace. Kicks towards a vacant Wing position. Robbins loads up. Christou takes a very good mark going back with the flight. Thornton will need to work and does it very cleverly. They're running hard, Carlton. They're playing on, taking risks. That's what they need to do. Kick towards Houghton. Almost. You'll get a free kick. Got a height advantage over Colbert. Now towards Lappin. Martin getting across. Free kick. No, play on's the call. Martin dives. Oh, he got it out. Chance for Cranage in the pocket. Loose player. Plunkett. Oh, Sinclair over the top. The Kangaroos bring it out. Porter just hacks it towards the wing. Great fist coming from Livingston. Grant, you're caught and you're penalised. Free kick to the Blues on the wing.
Just overusing at the moment, the Roos. Too much handball, and the handball is just too close at the moment. So you get a Carlton retarder that's able to redirect his attentions to the player that's just received the ball.
And these players have got to realise that he's red hot out there at the moment. There is not much time to make a decision.
Franchina up in the air again. Ground level, Blues need someone. Campriali to Murphy. Oh, bounced away, Rawlings. Player slipping over, will run to King. Not good enough. Sinclair has been good. Didn't have it in the end. Is not a free kick. Blues will run it away through Beaumont. So they combine beautifully and into half forward. McKernan's got it. He was third man up, going side on. And boys, his football come on in the last 6-7 weeks.
So I always think it's great, the third man up, because not always does the fourth man up, i.e. that person's opponent, punch the ball, because it relies on the two players in front. So great mark.
Spot on too, and as a defender, sometimes you just sit back a little bit thinking that your opposition's going to, or one of your teammates going to come over and actually spoil the ball for you.
I think he's such a better mark, along with Matthew Richardson and Thompson going side onto the ball. Have a look at that for a kick. It's beautiful. Carlton have their second. Corey McKernan has both Carlton goals, and the Blues skip out to an 8-point lead. We are 15 minutes first quarter, and the Blues are doing well.
And we just see here Simon Beaumont long into Carlton's forward 50, something they haven't probably done over the last 10 to 12 weeks. There's no question this is a match play or a match plan that they're going to concentrate on. They are getting the ball into the forward 50 very quickly.
So the Blues, the first two goals of the match, they lead by 8 points. Corey McKernan has both of them. He's in the centre, beaten by Porter. Robbins. Ball spills free. Thornton and Morrell. Bounce.
Love to see Spider Burton out there. I made that point a little bit earlier. Because they are driving it in long, and you wouldn't necessarily expect Burton to be actually marking the ball, even if he's palming it into a certain part of the 50. The Roos are pretty good at getting numbers to the drop of the ball.
Brett Ratton in the Carlton coaching box this afternoon. Comes to Christou. Good handball. It's Fletcher. Been prominent. Left foot kick inside attacking 50. Oh, Campriali went back with courage. Couldn't hold on. Well played, Prendergast, who's created an option up forward this afternoon. And a little willing in there. Archer and Campriali. Umpire Mitchell just waits patiently by the side of the pack for the ball to come out. And some words.
Interesting move. Johnny Blake inside 50 for the Roos, playing actually back closer to goal. Rocker further inside 50, outside goal. So,
and his direct opponent is Simon Beaumont at the moment.
Cranage looking for Prendergast. Sinclair dispossessed. Plunkett, handball close quarters, was ineffective. Roos desperate in defence. Grant, Harvey hard up against the line. Kick lands just inside, so a boundary throw in.
Interesting with that move, Sauce. I suppose Dennis Pagan trying to drag Beaumont out of direct play, trying to keep him back, and Beaumont now off camera running further up the ground into the forward line for the Blues. The ball to come in. It's inside Carlton's forward line. They lead by 8 points. Hickmott was a player, third man up. Sinclair has been good. Back to Archer. Short. Grant, standing start, bombs in long. Porter, but goes over the top. Roos have numbers. Chance now. King, Sinclair, look out. Merrington wrapped him up in the end. Handballs out Cochrane to King. Standing start, all you can do under pressure. Bomb it forward. Loose ball, Robbins. Kangaroos still looking for their first goal. He chips up. Rocker's got it. No. Harding through the traffic, through the maze, hands off to Johnny Blakey. Unlikely time. He kicks a Roos first. They have goal number 1, 18 minutes in. Nicely worked goal under pressure, and Johnny Blakey, who started the game on the bench, kicks the Roos first.
Well, it's taken them a few attempts, but I go back to the King kick you mentioned in that call. It was a quick kick. He was under pressure. That's what you have to do when you're under a bit of pump. Just get the ball on moving, get it quick so your teammates know, and you get the momentum so you're able to create these opportunities and goal.
Embattled Carlton president John Elliott. I'm pretty pleased with the way his side's playing at the moment. They lead by a couple of points. Goal to John Blakey in game number 356. McKernan out of the centre. Porter on top of the football. By Kelsey calls for it. Big match for the Kangaroos. Fighting for a spot in the top 8. Must-win game for them this afternoon against the bottom side. Carlton so far have been very competitive. McKernan. Grant was held, no free kick. In fact, it was Simpson held. Another bounce.
Just interesting to see the lineups of both forwards. North have opted to line all their forwards straight up the middle of the ground, where Carlton have pulled most of their forwards outside their forward 50 and left Lappin and Makepeace in the goal square.
Hickmott going with Sinclair, Jess Sinclair, who has been such a good player for the Roos in this first quarter.
Ineffective ruck play. Fletcher, Plunkett. Cranage is outside, and handball a little bit behind Cranage, and they couldn't take it. Well, Colbert just ducked ahead and tried to crash his way through, couldn't. Now a chance for the Blues. Camporiali thumps it inside, attacking 50. Fletcher gave a contest. Hickmott now out wide. Camporiali, brilliant smother from Sinclair.
It was well done by Sinclair, just to put him under enough pressure to be able to smother that ball.
As we watch the smother again, pressure coming from Grant on Camporiali, and Sinclair getting to the football. Porter straight back over the line. So another boundary throw in inside the Carlton attacking 50. Major possession winners in this first quarter for the Blues. Beaumont with 8, Christou 6. And for the Kangaroos, Archer and Brett Harvey in his return game have 6 possessions each. Makepeace, under pressure, kept his hands free, which was clever, to Sinclair, and his wobbly kick luckily lands in the arms of Robbins. And half back. What a find and pick-up he's been for the Kangaroos this season. Ben Robbins, kick towards half forward. Carlton with the numbers. Thornton at the back, almost would have been paid. Oh, he put Beaumont under enormous pressure. Livingston, they're being worked back the Carlton side. But Christou was intelligent. He kicked it out wide. Contest, Sinclair, Prendergast. And Sinclair happy just to kick it over the line. So a boundary throw in.
One thing the Kangaroos are trying to do, they're trying to pull Simon Beaumont back to the goal square. His direct opponent is Byron Pickett, but Beaumont is taking a bit of a gamble. He's coming up the ground and leaving Pickett down in that goal square. That is why he's getting so many possessions, 9 possessions to date.
McKernan and full forward for the Blues, so you really would expect the Roos, 21 minutes into this first quarter, start taking advantage. Shannon Grant comes off the ground
with a blood rule.
Rawlings back on. So Porter will contest against Merrington. You expect him to take the front position and certainly try and give the Roos first use. Jess Sinclair has been very good and has won the ball in the right part of the ground, in the middle part. So the ball comes down. It was pushed forward. Fletcher on the left foot. Blues into attack again. Houghton was up, and running it away is Teague. So the Roos into attack. Murphy front, well done. Jess Sinclair at ground level will try and draw. Decides to kick on that right foot. Rocker, Blakey, Rocker's got it. Running with the flight of the ball. And that is a player you would pinpoint. Clearly had the advantage over Manton, and running side on the ball makes it pretty hard for the defender to get a clear fist to the ball. He has to try and come from around the body, so it's a good part of the ground.
Well, it's going to be a problem for the Blues all afternoon, Dakes. The fact that you've got Morrell and Rocker, who really do have a distinct height advantage over their immediate opponents.
So Sav Rocker has certainly been a handy pickup for the Roos in the last couple of seasons. Chance directly in front. I'm not sure whether this is his forte. He tends to like him from outside 50, a little bit more pressure. not a problem, he says. Goal number 1. So Sav has 1, and the Roos have their second. 7 scoring shots, that up to 2-5-17. The Blues are 2-1-13. It's a 4-point lead, just under 23 minutes first quarter.
And once again, Sav having a pretty good season. That's his 47th goal of the season, so no doubt his consistency at the Kangaroos has been pretty good, and this is his first goal of the game. Always a lovely kick, and we see this one straight through the middle.
So the Kangaroos in front for the first time this afternoon, 23 minutes into this opening quarter. Porter and McKernan, Cranage, can he get a handball clear? He can at close quarters. Camporiali, high to half forward. Another chance for Sinclair, who nonchalantly just gathers in one arm. Pumps it long to half forward. Morrell, Rocker at the back, got hands to it, couldn't complete the mark. Robbins got runners outside. Simpson's one of them. He runs to 50, needs to measure the kick. He doesn't. He wobbled it off the boot and scraped it through for a behind.
We see Jimmy Plunkett coming off the ground. His direct opponent is Jess Sinclair, who's had a terrific first quarter. Plunkett being replaced by Houlihan.
Murphy to bring it in. Bomb it in long. Need players to get at ground level. McKernan will jump against 2 of the better big men. Rawlings missed the ball. Players put themselves in at ground level. Campriali, who has had 5 touches. Fletcher has had 5. Red alert. He has been pretty good, certainly covering a bit of ground, Fletcher, at the moment for the Blues. Rocker over the head, tricky. Sinclair good through the traffic. King will steady, and it goes in for a minor score. Why would things change? 7 behinds to the Kangaroos in his first quarter. They lead by that 6 points.
And as much as Carlton have been very good out there, the Kangaroos have really wasted opportunities. 9 scoring shots to 3.
Well, they have, and a lot of them have been certainly gettable goals.
Christo at fullback, close to quarter time. Short option in Manton, ignores that, dangerously kicks to Cranage, but he makes the kick look good. Marked strongly. Run provided by Beaumont, confronted by Cochrane, so just kicks high to half forward, in front McKernan, to the back. Sinclair, deft little touch, looking for Cole, but he just backed out of the pack brilliantly, back to Sinclair. Another possession. That was a poor one. Houlihan. Franchina supporting out wide, just pulls it back across his bundy to Houghton. Loose player running Murphy. He can drill it from here. Murphy decides to kick across the ground instead. He kicks it straight down the throat of Glenn Archer.
The reason why he checked his kick there, Martin and Makepeace were in the goal square opposed to Lappin.
So Porter mark in the middle, and they're on the move. Robbins with some time can draw, decides to kick in long. Blakey, no, Siren beats him. Pretty good first quarter. The Blues certainly came out pretty quick early. The Roos were able to rake them in the latter part of that first quarter, and we have a 6-point lead to the Roos. It's 2-7-19. The Blues 2-1-13.
Yeah, well, I guess the Kangaroos would be fairly disappointed with that effort. They had a number of scoring shots. They could have blown this game quite open in the first quarter. Carlton will be relatively pleased that they're amongst it within this first quarter. They're only a goal off the mark, so they'd be relatively pleased, and they're starting to close this game up a little bit.
Well, they were competitive, Carlton, certainly in the early stages, but as the quarter wore on, the Kangaroos got on top. Quarter time in a must-win game for the Kangaroos. They lead by 6 points.
Going to take a big load.
Well, before the second quarter gets underway, let's go down to the boundary line. Christy.
Thanks, Michael. Well, I spoke about the grass earlier, and we can see it is already having an effect. There are a lot of players slipping over and falling over at crucial moments. I noticed that a lot of players, especially Blues players, changed their boots in that quarter. Let's hope it doesn't have too much of an effect on the rest of the game.
Thanks, Christy. So the Roos in to attack the start. Morrell, standing start. He actually won it back and then lost it. It's too high. So he gets a second chance. Digby Morrell comes up with it. Good marking option inside 50 for the Roos. He'll bomb in looking for Rocker. Use of the body, Livingston. Rocker's got it. Missed it altogether, Livingston. And Big Sav, who has a goal. And we are under a minute into this first quarter. Roos a chance to put it on the board.
Great kick by Morrell. He got it in nice and deep too, Rocker. Livingston really should have done better there. He had the run of the ball to be able to get the fist, but great judgment by Rocker.
Sav Rocker. Kicking can let him down. Sav, normally a beautiful thumping kick. Getting his hands to the ball. And has gone back to just inside 50. So fair run up. It'll be every bit of 20 metres. And he kicks his second. It's home. So the Roos start beautifully into this second as they finish that first, and the lead now goes out to 12 points. We are just over a minute in. Sav Rocker has 2 goals.
Well, you'd think that Carlton defenders are going to be under a fair bit of pressure now. They realise that they are a little bit short down back. Livingston really should have done better on that occasion, as I mentioned earlier. But Sav Rocker just looks like he's going to be a handful for the Blues.
So margin 12 points. And after the Blues kicked the first 2 goals of the match, the Kangaroos have kicked the next 3. Back in the centre, Porter. Hickmont couldn't control it. Simpson, handball out wide. Grant, now Robbins, off a step to half forward. Fist from Christou. Wiggins couldn't control it. Fighting it hard at ground level is Harding, and he ties it up. So a bounce at half forward for the Kangaroos.
I suppose you'd just like to see inside 50 for the Roos, the players so just get a little bit of room, because at the moment you have Rocker going in against Manton, clearly has an advantage. So Pickett should actually draw his player Beaumont away and stop him from jumping in as third man into the contest.
Grant through the congestion to Cochrane. He's dispossessed. Hickmont desperate. Tries to get it clear but had no support. Porter hacks it inside attacking 50. Blakey. Harvey goes back towards Grant. Handball had too much juice on it. Now he goes back in after it, Brent Harvey. Robbins, 55 from goal. Grant, he's dangerous from this position. Kick on its way. He's kicked it. Sensational goal. So Shannon Grant, he's capable of so much, and he kicks the Kangaroos' 4th goal, and all of a sudden they lead by 3 goals.
Yeah, and he was involved in the play earlier, Shannon Grant. We see Harvey, he had second and third efforts throughout that contest or that particular play. We know what a great kick Shannon Grant here, and he didn't let his teammates down with his trusty left foot.
Huge bonus when you get your midfielders kicking goals, but the Roos, that's where they get certainly at least 30-40% of their goals from. Harvey will kick goals. Grant, Simpson, throw a few into the mix. David King, it comes out. Simpson, they're winning out of the middle. Grant will run onto it. Hot pursuit. Wiggins got in front, well done. Then went to ground, so gave Grant a chance. Scooped it in one hand and then all smothered in the end. So over the line, Martin a long way from home in support.
Steve, it's so critical now. The Blues just have to try and consolidate for the next 5 or 10 minutes. Try and kick a goal, because it's a sense that floodgates could open.
Well, where North have just got on top is that they're starting to clear the ball away from stoppages. Carlton have failed to win one in this second quarter.
So Fletcher wrapped up. Grant, Simpson, Harvey, and at Jess Sinclair at the top of that list has 12 possessions, and you can understand why the Roos starting to get on top. Ball to be bounced. Porter to go in against McKernan. Players wrestle. McKernan missed it in the end, going with non-dominant hand. Robbins. Cranage and Fletcher left it for a Roo player. Houlihan, Hickmont through the traffic on the left foot. Well done under pressure, just bombs it in long. Martin should jump. He didn't, and he was actually flat-footed. Out Merrington looking for Cranage. Under pressure, didn't have it in the end. Sinclair, well done. Quick hands. Cochrane, you're in trouble. Blues trying to keep it in. Cranage in trouble now. Well done, Jess Sinclair. And we will get a ball up, and that's a type of commitment Wayne Britton is looking for. And Sauce, I think that ought to please you as well.
Well, yeah, I think we saw Sam Cranage play last week against Port Adelaide. Probably really should have got a free kick there. It was in his back, but there's no question that he has a real crack at the ball, and he's one of the true qualities that the coaching staff at Carlton love about him.
So Porter down, Sinclair body on body with Prendergast. Thornton nowhere to go. Houlihan wrapped up in the end, just dropped it. Prendergast goes back in. Hickmont Tried to actually snatch it out, put the Blues into attack. It's half forward and we get a ball up. So it's 13 playing 31, just under 6 minutes in.
Just Sinclair in screen there, just seems to so he has a bit of problems with maybe an ankle. He had a fantastic first quarter. Had to take Plunkett off him. And Cranage is now his direct opponent.
Colbert, Sinclair, possession 14, running onto it. Morrell's got it. Did beautifully, had a bit of space in front to run onto it. He ran about 30 metres, and then a funny old kick. It'll drop short. Beaumont, that's courage. Took the mark, and the Blues ready to go into attack.
Beaumont, loose player, Houghton, had to stretch. He's still got it, but great tackle by Morrell. Look out, he'll be pinged now. Comes out to Wiggins. Tackle on him and a bounce.
Just an area where the Carlton players need to get better. Houghton was under the pressure. There are 2 or 3 Carlton players that were running to receive the handball. Once he's under the pressure, you've got to run across and try to assist him. He was never going to get a clear handball away. You've got to get back into the contest to run and assist.
Houghton and Porter. Houghton down towards Hickmott. Robbins emerges. Another bounce.
Well, the golden rule, 2 will always beat 1.
That's right.
3 will definitely win out against 1. Tackles, the Kangaroos.
And you just sense they've upped the tempo as well. There's no question they've come out in this second quarter and really started to apply physical pressure against the Blues.
Porter thumps it forward. Murphy. Handball through the congestion. Got to Wiggins, but he couldn't do anything with it. Fletcher fighting hard. Robbins again. The base of the pack. And Ben Robbins has had 9 possessions and a couple of marks. Taken the ball inside 55 times. Formerly, of course, of Brisbane, and he's been a real pickup. A little fine for the Kangaroos.
Cranage dropping back as a loose man defence for the Blues.
King off the ground. Prendergast missed. Robbins again. Handball hoping. Fletcher. Now Murphy lurking out wide. Thumps it inside, attacking 50. Lappin and McKernan. Make peace almost. Chance of Lappin at ground level. Slipped over. Houlihan. Oh, he couldn't control it. And the Kangaroos out of trouble. Sinclair. Kick had just enough carry on it to get to Harding. Loose player. Half forward was Archer.
Oh,
Goes behind him. Pickett tucks it under the arm with the left boot. Kicks onto the lead. Hutton bounces off his chest. Back to Pickett. Left foot snap from 30. Bouncing. Bouncing. Oh, blocked it. It's a goal. Well, I think we'll watch it, but I think it came off the boot of Severio Rocker in the end.
Could have, Chris O.
For the Kangaroos' 5th goal. But how dynamic is Byron Pickett? The kick there just was perfect. Harvey couldn't control the chest mark. As we watch the kick coming in. Yes, Severio Rocker. He's kicked 3.
So the Roos really starting to take control now. It's out to 24 points. King, who Dennis Pagan certainly had a good couple of minutes with during the quarter-time break.
Just that last goal, it's amazing what an attack on the ball can do to your footy side. The attack on the ball by Byron Pickett creates something, it gives a team a spark. It was something that Houlihan failed to do at the opposite end of the ground.
Merrington away from goal. Christou with his back away from goal. Merrington slaps it out. Have to do something about this guy. Sinclair, Simpson, good kick. Good understanding, awareness of where his teammates were. They bomb in long, Rocker will jump, one hand to it. Harding put the body in, well done. Rocker confronts Murphy, loose ball. Murphy does well to go back in, then gave it up. Harding out wide. David King standing start. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, says David King. They are really starting to take control of this game of football, and David King ends up with his first.
Well, once again, the Kangaroos won the contest. It was a heated and disputed ball, and a number of the North Melbourne players had eyes for the ball. They were able to apply the right tackles. They were cleaner with their hands, and King was able to kick a goal virtually from 50 metres.
Margin out to 30 points. And Carlton need to do something pretty quickly to try and make this game competitive. Wiggins out wide was held. No free kick. He ties it up. Bounce. Kangaroos kicked the last 6 goals of the game. The Blues kicked the first 2. Jimmy Plunkett on the boundary line. 11 minutes in, second term. Well, McKernan straight to Sinclair. Thumps it back inside, attacking 50. At the back, foot race. Cranage and Simpson. Oh, Cranage pushed off the ball too easily. Grant, Simpson, handball to himself. Blakey can't control. Here comes Pickett. Tries to crash his way through. And in the end, the Carlton defence did well to tie it up.
That's the beauty of Byron Pickett. When he does get the ball, he hits it with top speed. And if you have to tackle him, he's going to make you earn the tackle. Very much like Michael Voss does from Brisbane.
Ken Hunter and John Elliott.
I'd like to see him play further facing the goal and further up the ground off a wing, and if he able to win possession going straight at the goal.
Rocker wins it. Merrington has it now to Murphy off a step. Back towards halfback. Hardy knocks it towards his own advantage. Houlihan needs to get a handball clear. Comes to Camporiali, gives it up. Sinclair, is he held? No. Colbert, little topo for Pickett all by himself inside attacking 50.
Have a shot.
He'll kick from 45. And a chance to kick his first of the afternoon.
Having a pretty big second quarter, Byron Pickett.
Jess Sinclair, 18 possessions, 12 and a half minutes in to this second quarter.
And he's earning every one of them. He's winning them in the middle of the ground. He's actually taking players on, drawing players off the ball and setting up the ruse.
Pickett comes in. It's close. It's home. His first. So the Kangaroos kick their 5th of the quarter, and the margin now out to an even 6 goals.
5 in 12 minutes for the Kangaroos, and really set up by this young man, Jess Sinclair. Had 2 direct opponents so far, Jim Plunkett, Sam Cranage, and really someone needs to start to play on Jess Sinclair if Carlton are to get back into this game.
Back in the middle, and this is where the Roos are starting at. Porter, McKernan fingernails it down, and Cambriali straight to guess who? Sinclair out, it'll bounce, running onto it, Simpson. Grant further on, should get it. Around the body, Blakey, over the top, chance for Harding. Ball evades him, Beaumont does well to retard. Livingston, Beaumont knocked off by Blakey. Grant with a chance, and it's a minor score.
Free kick
coming back
to Simon Beaumont. Just knocked a bit high from the Blakey hip and shoulder.
So a reprieve for the Blues out wide. Hickmott takes his time, just over wing Lappin. Oh, great pressure mate piece. And
free kick.
It's a free to Lappin. So where do the Blues go from here? Well, Lappin was going back to retrieve it. Here's that free again, yep, clearly into his back. Roos is certainly dropping back cross half back at the moment.
Coming up for his 4th possession. Makepeace doing a pretty good job.
Lapping into the air. Players will jump. Back down there was Porter. Oh no, Sinclair. Hickmott was there, and we will get a ball up just outside 50. Blues into attack. At the moment, Carlton haven't scored in this second quarter. Jess Sinclair, what a game. 19 possessions in total in the last 10 minutes with 6. So he is certainly working pretty hard and running himself ragged. As is the scoreboard for the Roos, 7-7, playing 2-1. Porter, Lappin, Teague does well. Ball loose, Fletcher wrapped up. And again, just inside 50 this time, Blues, we get a ball up.
Looks like Jess Sinclair's got his 3rd opponent for the day. Anthony Franchina has gone to him, even though Sinclair is playing in the back pocket.
Trying to drag him away from general play. Fletcher over the top, gave it to Simpson. Execution skill letting him down too early. No free, allowed to go on. Robbins kept it in front of himself. Hickmott did well, knocked him off the ball. Toe poke can get it into the middle is Grant. Morrell did well. Cochrane's there. Should have been a free to Christou too high. Thornton is wrapped up by Ben Robbins, and we, in the middle of the ground, will get another ball up. Too early. Just did well to... He just hovered. He just sat there, Campriali.
Franchina is going with Harvey. Cranage is still with Sinclair.
So Porter, back it comes, breaking clear, couldn't. Campriali got it out. Chance for Franchina, running straight at the goal. The little back pocket makes good for a minor score. So that's the first score for the Blues into this second quarter. 16.5 minutes, and they've just managed to behind. Burton is now on, Porter off, and the Roos have it. Chris O.
Sinclair, possession number 20. He's been dominant this afternoon, Jess Sinclair. Runs his full measure, long to the wing. Archer in from the side. McKernan's there. And he's battled hard for the Blues against the odds, Corey McKernan.
What about a free to Archer?
Short, Houghton. Marked at half forward. Still a couple of kicks from goal.
They've lost their run, Carl. Early on in this game, they were getting the ball on very quickly. North have done it very well now. They've slowed them down, stopped their run, and they're failing to find targets.
Well, McKernan tries to take him. It bounces wide. Teague had hold of him. And that is a free kick.
He's doing it all at the moment. Carlton's certainly trying to get the ball to him, but Corey's best served by actually going inside 50, trying to take a mark.
Rocker up. Couldn't take it. Now King. Kicks out wide. Blakey, will he get there? He takes it on the bounce. Has to get round Beaumont. Great tackle from Beaumont. Murphy. Christou. Back to Murphy. Hard up against the line. Oh, Cranage. She sets him up. Colbert. Double fister.
You wouldn't mind playing footy with Lee Colbert. Always supporting his teammates. Prepared to do the sacrificial acts.
Well, he read it beautifully, didn't he? He just played off Cranage, allowed Carlton to go to Cranage. The execution wasn't any good, and Colbert slipped in.
And Sav Rocker there with a problem. Follow that up in a moment. King kicks it out of the ruck contest. Morrell held his ground very well there and goes back and retrieves it. Livingston, great tackle. And that's deliberately over the line by Simpson.
Should have been.
Should have been.
Just on the tackle count, we spotted it a little bit earlier. Clearly the Roos doing well.
That was a great effort.
27.
That was a great effort by Livingston because he was coming from the ground after a previous knock and he laid that tackle. Murphy to half forward, Colbert in front. Hands off towards Sinclair. Well, I don't think we'll count that as a possession. Colbert back on top of the football. Houghton emerging. Christou. Hickmott, little fumble, was costly. Now Camporeale. Lappin, make piece of chance, but Lappin, strong hands.
Great mark.
45 metres from goal on a 45-degree angle.
Terrible handball from Lee Colbert. Really, there was no playing the percentages. He shouldn't have gone at Jess Sinclair.
Short kicks on, and mark's been taken by Eccles, about 20 metres from goal on a 60-degree angle.
He's only been on for a short while, already 2 possession. He was instrumental in getting the ball across to Lappin with a quick handball, I should say.
Well, he came on last week, Andrew Eccles, and played pretty well against the Power. Picked up 15 possessions, had 6 marks. Chance now to kick his first goal for the Blues. They desperately need this. Comes in deliberately and squeezes it through. So Carlton kicked their first goal of the quarter. It's taken nearly 20 minutes. Margin back to 29 points.
Well, they've had to work hard for it, really. The Kangaroos' pressure has been exceptional in this first quarter, but good signs for Eccles, who's just come onto the ground, and this will do wonders for his confidence to be able to kick his first goal within a matter of minutes of coming onto the ground.
So the Blues have their first goal into this second quarter. Still trail by 29. Ball's bounce. Burton up. Players. Robbins again leading the charge for the Roos. We get a ball up in the middle of the ground. As Sav Rocker limps off the ground. McCartney back on for the Roos.
Takes Carlton's last goal at the 15-minute mark of the first quarter. So taking a long time to register their third.
Well, certainly the defence of the Roos doing well. Cochrane has Christou. Loose ball, and the whistle has beaten the Roos as Rawlings was running straight at goal.
And I think the other major factor in the game is that the Kangaroos kicked 2 goals, 7 in that first quarter. They've kicked 5 goals straight in this quarter.
So the umpire will have words with Grant. Blood rule.
Glenn Archer hasn't had a possession in the last 15 minutes, but he hasn't really needed to, has he?
The ball has really been down there, I suppose.
Shannon Grant, who's been off already once under the blood rule. And coming on the ground, Dylan Smith for his first run of the afternoon. Inside 50, that's an interesting stat, Steve. Kangaroos 22, Carlton 21.
Well, just failed to find targets, really. Carlton 5 scoring shots to the Kangaroos 14.
Yeah, sometimes it's a bit of a smoke screen. Burton took it out and into attack. Blakey will jump. Knocked away well by Ange Christou. Loose ball, Fletcher through the traffic. Campriali, Blues have a little bit of run now. That has been lacking. Campriali took it back and then just over wing out of side. Has to find someone. McKernan, Martin will jump, gets his hand to it. Makepeace will slap it away from goal. Hickmott a chance. Should have kept his footing. Under pressure, they get it out. During, Lappin, Murphy will mark. Justin Murphy didn't chase that ball out. He just sat back in the goal square. And things going his way. He'll run around and he'll kick a nice goal. Blues have another. So that all please Big Jack. Kenny Hunter alongside John, and we have another goal of the Blues. They're second in this quarter thanks to Justin Murphy, but good work Hickmott, Turing. So they worked it well under pressure, Lappin supplying.
So the second consecutive goal to the Blues. Justin Murphy just kicking around the body. Ken Hunter and John Elliott a little happier. Margin back to 23 points. They can get another one before half-time. Well, you never know. During, Campriali wobbles it to half-forward. Plunkett, fist from Colbert, dependable. Now a chance for Prendergast. Well, they all stop and look at it. Prendergast now breaks through from 45. Drop putt is close. Lappin! Can't take the mark. Play on Makepeace with dash. The loose player. Grant's back on the ground. Simpson takes it. Now to Grant. And they set something up on the rebound here. Wobbles it over the head of McCartney. Manson. Clever. Juggling effort. During. A couple of important touches in this second term. Campriali getting into the game. Eccles. Also some valuable touches. Just sets it up. Lappin with a set. Up over the top. Play on's the call. Sinclair again. Oh, brilliant. Kicking. He just wobbled it to the wing. Campriali needs to get on with it quickly. Loose players inside. One of them spawned. He pumps it along to the goal square. Hickmott will have to go. Can't get hands to it. Lappin the snap. Couldn't get boot to ball. And again, the Kangaroo defence is resolute. And it ends with Simpson.
So over the top, Robbins looking a bit jittery at the moment. A lot of pressure on the Roos. Into the middle, Burton with Shannon Grant. Chance now normally uses it. Bombs in long. McCartney and Manton wrestle. Manton one hand, you're in trouble. Oh, did he trip?
Free kick.
No, it's going to Manton. Advantage paid During. Blues doing well. They have a little bit of space to work now. Spawn. Harvey. Big ass. Murphy advantage. Hands off to Campriali. He's had a better 5 or 6 minutes in this second quarter. Plunkett on again. That's better. Oh, losing it is Spawn. In trouble. Harvey has been quiet. Plunkett out-muscled him. Knocked off the ball. No free. Certainly willing, both teams at the moment. Blues have improved in this area. Plunkett. Funny old kick During. Hands off to Christou. Bombs in long. Does Ange. Makepeace and Teague. Makepeace. Read it better. And in the end took a mark and into the middle. Harding and the Roos have a real chance.
Can run this guy.
He can indeed. He's got electrifying pace. Harding onto Porter. Runs in from 20, open goal, and he misses everything out on the full.
Why didn't he keep running?
Well,
I don't think he's the best bouncer of the football in the world, Big Mark Porter.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you can't bounce being 30 metres clear, you have a problem.
Really should have just kicked the ball straight.
Oh, he trains 7 days a week, Sauce. There's no excuse.
Mountain off the ground.
Livingston, centre half back for the Blues, close to half time. Lapping in the middle of a couple of Kangaroos, stands his ground, plays on, one out in the goal square. McKernan almost got one hand still, keeps his feet, snap! Oh, yes! It's a goal! Corey McKernan has 3. And what was that? Some barracking in the background that couldn't detect. But Carlton have kicked the last 3 goals of the game and drawn within 17 points and have made this a real contest.
Well, I was just going to say a minute ago, the tempo had just picked up a little bit, and I guess Carlton have got some continuity and some momentum, and Corey McKernan kicking his 3rd goal here. What fantastic play. Good lesson. When you're in a bit of pressure, one-on-one marking contest, bring the ball to the front as Corey did. He was able to get back onto the ball and kick that goal.
I think one of the other things that has improved the Blues, they're running the Roos down instead of allowing a player further up the ground to come out and allowing the Roos to open up the game. They're into attack Roos. Need a goal just to steady Robbins. Too high, he ducked and he threw it out in the end as called by the umpire. He was looking for Dylan Smith, who has to hand it back. So Murphy to set the Blues up. Standing start and good kick. Good contest, Archer in the end. Prendergast was there. Martin, Archer, Grant, back to Mickey. You're in trouble, Mick. Funny old handball. It was a 2-fisted handball. You're in big trouble. Mick not knowing where to look, and he gives Prendergast one.
It's getting heated out there.
I think the umpire ends up with a Prendergast not getting a free. Have a look at this one. Well, he played for it, I think, in the end. Oh, Big Mick, was he in trouble? Spider Burton. As a siren goes for half-time. And the Blues, certainly their improvement in the last 10 minutes of football in this 2nd quarter has certainly made it for a better contest. It's 7-7-49 to Kangaroos. It's 5-2-32 Carlton.
I guess good signs there by the Blues. They looked like they were in all sorts of trouble. They hadn't scored a goal.
Well, Steve, the Kangaroos kicked the first 5 goals of the quarter, Carlton the last 3, so it's a good comeback.
And good signs. As we said, they've kicked the last 3 in that quarter, Carlton, and they'd be reasonably happy going into half-time, having come back and played some pretty good footy.
Oh, the Kangaroos led by 36 points midway through that 2nd quarter, but at half-time it's the Kangaroos by 17 points. Back to review the first half shortly.
Game. And another one to look out for is Harvey, of course, returning from a shoulder injury and just looking a little, well, you might have to watch him because it looks like he's maybe favouring that shoulder at the moment.
Gee, that'd be tragic if Harvey was to go down. But check this out, a time cost. What an opportunity at the 2002 AFL Grand Final. And go to www.afl.com to get a chance for an opportunity of a lifetime. Well, we're underway, 3rd quarter here at Colonial Stadium. The Kangaroos, they lead by 17 points, but Carlton were very competitive in the latter part of that 2nd quarter. Camporiali, Franchina, now McKernan, who's kicked 3, kicks towards Hickmott.
Good movement of the football.
Gee, what a great start this has been, Steve.
Well, I guess the first goal will be crucial for Carlton's confidence, and should Adrian Hickmott kick this one, well, they'd feel as though they're in with a real chance.
Hickmott will kick from just outside 50. Kicked the last 3 goals of the match for the Blues. From 55. Kick, has it got the carry? I don't think it has. The Kangaroos keep it in. Chance for During. Colbert fighting hard at the
It's in trouble.
Ground level, and it takes a long time to get rid of it. Still it's in there. Gee, must be penalised. Umpire Kelsey calling play on. Colbert's had an eternity to get rid of the football. This is unbelievable.
You could just read Colbert's mind. That ball actually ran away from him and he's thinking, no, don't give it back to me. And the ball ends up under his lap again.
But that's the problem with the rule. I mean, if he hits it out, the Carlton players are sitting out waiting for it, yet he tries to grab possession.
He hits it out and then it comes back.
Chance for Franchina, who was inventive, but not successful. Behind only, margin 16 points.
For mine, I just think the Roos' leg power has stopped. They're not carrying the ball. They just look a little bit tired and jaded. And I suppose take into account last week where they had 10 goals scored on them. Sydney, that was. So the ball comes in. Burton up into the air. Prendergast has teammates. Thornton does well out wide of Plunkett. Confronted Doring, left foot over the head of Murphy. King and Murphy will go at it. Murphy front foot. Well done, King. Front position, didn't have it. Pushes it away from the Carlton goal in the back. So he did well. Ironical cheers from the Kangaroo supporters who feel they've been hard done by in this game. I suppose the game, that has been pretty good in this game, but the umpires have allowed the game to flow. Long, Burton, McKernan. Good mark.
He has really come back to some great form, Corey McKernan.
His second half of the year has been outstanding.
This is the best he's played for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, agree. 3 goals in that haul as well. So he's doing the work around the ground. Franchina over the top. Fletcher. 2 cribs a metre or so. Fletcher will standing start. Lappin no chance. Over the head. Beaumont dropped it in the end. Lappin around the body. Hickmont up into the air. Prendergast is not there. Franchina. Sinclair did well and then got it out. Robbins. No one to kick to, so out wide. Archer's got it.
Made the move, Dennis Pagan. Archer up to the forward line.
Well, they're lacking run, and their inability to run the ball in the forward line means they have to bomb into half forward. Archer there now supplying the contest. Will go in long. Burton front position. Should mark. Second bite. Kernan slapped it away. Robbins towards goal. Harvey should mark. Fletcher, you're in trouble. And Brent Harvey, as Christie made mention before the start of this third quarter, was rubbing the shoulder and certainly has had problems with that shoulder through this game.
Tough game, footy. Carlton dominated the first couple of minutes of this quarter. The Kangaroos run it down the other end and could kick a very easy goal.
And he's the worst player for Carlton to have possession of the ball. Brent Harvey loves a goal. Normally a pretty good shot. Not a problem. Not a problem. So, as Steve Silvani made mention, against the run of play, the Kangaroos are able to put it on the board. It's 8-7-55. They start this third quarter well. Carlton are a 5-3-33.
Quality player, Harvey. There's no question he's coming into this game carrying a shoulder injury. We'll just see Anthony and Franchina just letting you know that that shoulder may be a little bit sore, but he's able to carry it and still have an impact on this game.
Mike Fitzpatrick, premiership captain with the Blues. Back in the centre, McKernan gets this one down. Murphy needs to get it out quickly. Can't. Good pressure. Umpire Kelsey calls for it.
Well, where the Blues improved certainly in the latter part of that second quarter, they just weren't blazing inside 50. There just seems to be a little bit more system. They're pinpointing a few of their passes, but I just feel where they've improved is they're working better behind the ball, and that is their ability to run the Roos down.
Burton gets it down. Fletcher, Christo, put Prendergast under the pump. Was tackled by Carbon, has been pinned for throwing the ball. Picked up by Simpson, kicked towards Mark, taken. In fact, it was Rawlings kicking it forward. And I think it's the veteran, John Blakey. Diving, sprawling mark on his chest.
And that turnover caused by another veteran in Michael Martin. Great tackle on Prendergast, which enabled that ball to fall loose to his teammates.
John Blakey. What a ornament to the game he's been. From 30 metres directly in front. And he pops through. He's kicked two. So the Kangaroos who in the first 3 or 4 minutes were outplayed in this quarter by Carlton. Carlton couldn't get a score on the board, and the Roos have responded with 2 goals of their own.
Yeah, well, I think that's been really very much the story of the day. The Kangaroos, when they've got an inside 50, more often than not have been able to put a score on the board. You see here John Blakey, what a wonderful play he's been for the Kangaroos. Able to kick a goal at the start of this third quarter.
So 2 early goals from the Roos. It's back out to 28. Burton in the ruck. McKernan did well. Harding and Robbins collide. Robbins kept his eyes on the ball. King out of the pack to Harvey, who was sitting out wide. Created the space, and out wide to Spider, who was running forward to the ball. Porter missed early in that second quarter. What are you like, Spider? I'm all right. It's a goal to beat Spider. That's through for the quarter for the Roos. So they're all starting to get involved out of the midfield. He set it up with his hand. Actually was beaten by Corey McKernan, but came back with a goal. Big Spider.
Well, really, Russian roulette by both ruckmen there. McKernan went one way, Burton went the other way. The cards fell with Burton, who was able to kick his first goal of the game.
So back in the centre, there he is, Matthew Burton, his 12th goal of the season. He's had a great year for the Kangaroos. He's in the rut. McKernan gets a run of him, gets it down, taken by Simpson. Hickmott, good overzealous, puts Simpson down. Simpson with the free kick. King and Murphy off the ball.
It's 50-metre penalty.
Against Murphy, and David King just continuing to agitate the Carlton midfielder. As we see the reason for the 50, you can be assured that David King did everything possible to milk that 50-metre penalty.
Well, you're just got to be smarter than that, though. I mean, you know, there's 3 umpires out there. The game had stopped. There was a stoppage, and you want to wrestle.
So
well,
Simpson directly in front, just 25 metres from goal. Pops another one through. So the Kangaroos have just gone on the march. They've kicked 4 goals in how many minutes? 4 minutes. It's been a great passage of football for them.
Well, it has been very good, Sauce. And when you consider, and I made mention about goals from midfield, King has 1, Harvey 1, throw in Burton, the ruckman, and throw in 1 each to Grant and Simpson. And there you have the difference in the game. 5 goals from midfield.
Let's go down to the boundary line. Christy Malthouse.
Thanks, Michael. Well, yeah, we just saw that 50 metres. That all came about because of the clash between Franchina and Harvey, actually. Franchina is letting Harvey know that he knows he's got a sore shoulder. The rest of the Kangaroos players are sticking up for him, and in fact said that that last goal was all because of him.
Ange Christou left it behind. Blues into attack. Oh, Sinclair. Beautiful timing. Just sat in the air. Simpson out wide. Has Grant just over wing. That's where he heads. McCartney will mark. So over the head of Grant, who continues to run forward. Pickett's down there, hemmed in for room. McCartney did well. Out comes Archer. It is all the Roos at the moment. 10 minutes into this third quarter. They have 4 goals for the quarter, possibly 5 coming up. And Glenn Archer with this chance.
Great play by the Kangaroos, but what a great player this fella is. Play forward, back, midfield. It has been a fantastic play for the Kangaroos and still playing some fantastic footy.
He's a fine player. Up there in the game ranking, number 6, Glenn Archer. Did the job in that first quarter as a defender. Can he do the job as a forward? He can. Just squeezes it through. It's another for the Roos. Well, starting to spoil the party, the Kangaroos, for that man. McCartney in, under pressure, good contested mark.
Pretty impressive, the Kangaroos. 5 goals in 5 minutes. And certainly just about to blow this game open. Carlton need to start to close this game and try to get some type of control.
David King just talking to Makepeace and Sinclair. Kangaroos, well, an inspiring passage of football. They've kicked 5 goals in 6 minutes. Simpson, Thornton in the way, just slams it onto the boot. King almost the clever mark. Hickmott, good handball. Camporeale needs to use it. Lappin at the back, he's got the set, he's got the mark.
Did well, Makepeace. He sort of set off him and then really pushed the body in, trying to dispossess him, but Lappin came up with a very good mark.
He certainly did. The kick from Camporeale just had great depth on it, just allowed Lappin to dictate the contest.
Yeah, it was a great kick. Thought he might have gone to McKernan, who was probably sitting at 20 metres out from the goal square, but the kick was spot on by Camporeale.
So Matthew Lappin, far to kick a goal this afternoon. From 20 metres, he kicks a goal for the Blues. So that breaks a run of 5 goals by the Kangaroos, and the margin is back to 40 points.
Well, Wayne Britton, I suppose that's what he's looking for. That's a type of supply in. They really worked it hard. Under pressure, Camporeale gets it forward. Lappin, good use of the body. Makepeace gave himself every opportunity, got the body in, but Lappin stood firm and took a pretty good mark. Need more of it, the Blues. Back in the middle, Burton, McKernan. Well done, McKernan again. Harvey through the traffic. Teague. Teague did well under pressure. Balanced up and then in long. Pickett couldn't mark it. Blakey toe poked it into space. Did beautifully. Hands off. Backwards to Robbins. Around the corner, Spider has got it. And this is where I felt the Roos could really take a hand. I thought Burton could really quite easily finish with 2 or 3. Porter, I suppose, when you think of that effort in the second quarter, probably is out of the equation.
Well, the Carlton high in their defence was always going to be a problem when the ball was coming in quickly with Rocker, who's off the ground, but with Burton on the ground, it really presents a real problem for them.
Well, the great thing about Burton was that he contested the ruck duel but pushed forward.
And that actually drags Corey McKernan into defence. Spider. Oh, hits a post. 12-8-80. Kangaroos still in complete control. 41-point leaders. The Blues are 6-3.
Bristow at fullback, decides to go straight up the ground. Oh, almost a sensational mark to Simpson. Hickmott off a step. King in good position. And just popped himself 5 metres in front of his opponent Murphy. He came to meet it. Grant out wide in space. Loose player inside, attacking 50 is Rawlings. And the kick from Grant was perfect. So another opportunity for the Kangaroos.
Just pinpointing, using it better. And Rawlings with the opportunity. But he sat back in that corridor, didn't get to the area that he took this mark too early. Allowed Grant to balance up. Then he made his attack on the ball, Rawlings.
He's kicked to 2 goals in his 7 games this year for the Kangaroos. Rawlings comes in 30 metres and he kicks another one. Margin out to 47 points, and the Kangaroos really have shown their class in this 3rd term.
And their kicking's been really exceptional after the first quarter. They've kicked 10 goals won after quarter time, and really their foot skills are starting to come into play here. Quality side and starting to play some pretty good football.
Well, having Sav Rocker off the ground certainly hasn't put the Roos on the back foot. They have gone up another cog. 6 goals at the moment, 15.5 minutes, 3rd quarter. Still plenty of football. Robbins, Sinclair mopping up, quick kick out, well done. Morrell couldn't mark it. Blakey away from goal, the ball goes. Eccles wrapped up, and we will get a ball up. Still in the square.
The Kangaroos have just got a new forward-line structure. They're allowing Archer all the room in the world inside their forward 50. Beaumont is opposed to him.
So Merrington you'd expect Burton and the Roos take advantage of this now. Merrington going in against Burton, so take two with Burton and Merrington to go at it again. So if the ball goes straight up into the air, Burton really should give him first use, and the area behind Spider Burton at the moment could be the one that's used.
Kangaroos are happy to have a one-on-one duel with Archer and Beaumont.
Franchina, Christou, Blues out wide, not a bad kick, Houghton will mark. It's a long way from home, turns around quickly, well done. Lappin will jumped early and took the mark. We'll move it in. Oh, shocking kick. Pickett too easy away from Wiggins. Well done, Wiggins, for the second bite. Cambriali out to Lappin. Hands off Eccles. Around the body for a goal. So the Blues work pretty hard. As Plunkett comes off for the Blues, Eccles is able to finish off. That's his second goal. And they have goal number 7.
And really, Matty Lappin, probably one of the few targets Carlton have got up forward. Makepeace has done a pretty good job, but Lappin really playing a solo hand up forward. Maybe should have had a shot at goal, but did set this goal up, which enabled Eccles to kick his second goal.
Lucky to get out of it in the end.
Was.
Margin 41 points. Well, to their credit, the Blues are still fighting very, very hard. McKernan straight to King, who spirals it inside attacking 50. And Porter has taken the mark.
Dennis Pagan realises now that the Carlton defence is quite short. He's brought Porter onto the ground. Probably the first time in the game both Porter and Burton have been on the ground at the one time.
And Burton back in the goal square, sitting just back behind the goals here.
From 55, it's a thumping kick. They can chest. It's through for a behind. Margin out to 42 points.
Fancied himself on that occasion. Distance just out of reach, not far away. Christou to bring it back in. Sinclair, no surprise. Simpson. And they've certainly got on top. Campriali's doing well, and certainly the best midfielder for the Blues. They're in long. Porter, hand to it. Hickmott at ground level, wrapped up. Well done, Colbert, and then going in, McCartney. Franchina dispossessed in the air. Morrell actually got a hand to the ball. Robbins over the shoulders back. Franchina comes up with it. Half back. Has to find someone. McKernan will mark. Into the middle, he has Fletcher, centre half forward. He decides around a shocking kick. It'll bounce. Lappin doesn't get there. Runs away from Lappin. Makepeace not too interested in keeping it in. Half forward, boundary throw in. So Carlton into attack. It's 87 playing 45, Corey. It's more of a tied kick possibly. They're trying to move it on quickly, and that's all you can do. Stop the Roos from plugging holes. The ball comes in, Merrington. Rawlings, ducks his head, got clear. Blakey, body use, Morrell. Oh, players collide. Cranage was too high. Advantage possibly given to Fletcher. In short, Hickmott to Eccles. So 55 from goal. Short he goes. Good kick. Campriali playing out of the goal square, dragging Grant back, has it. And the Blues come up with another shot at goal. And he will kick from about 35.
Just see there, Digby Morrell pretty hard at it, the North boys, or the Kangaroos. Scott Camberali having a pretty good game too. Coming up for his 22nd disposal.
So the Blues allowed the Roos to get out again, and Scotty Cambriali just pegs that lead back. So he has his first, and the Blues have been able to certainly keep the scoreboard busy in the last few minutes, and the lead now cut back to a pretty comfortable 36 and giving the Blues a chance.
Carlton haven't played that badly. If you look at the scoring that the Kangaroos have put on, they kicked 5 goals in 8 minutes in the second quarter, and they've kicked another 5 goals in 6 minutes in this third quarter. So apart from those 2 brief patches of brilliance, Carlton have played pretty well.
Which just seems there's probably a lack of concentration throughout their game, and they just need to make sure that they concentrate for the full 4 quarters. Back
in the centre, Burton, favoured by the bounce, thumps it forward. bad bounce, or Franchina just gave the ball up too easily. Morrell thumps it to the goal square. One out, Beaumont will need to go. McCartney almost. Can he get boot the ball? Around the body, he pops it through. Quick reply to the Kangaroos. And Jason McCartney back in the side this afternoon, playing up forward. Courageous effort going back with the flight of the football, and the margin almost instantaneously back out to 7 goals.
And it was courageous football by McCartney. But one of the things that do help teammates is knowing that your teammate will hold an opposition player out. We see Archer there just holding Beaumont out of that contest, which allows McCartney to have the confidence to be able to go for that ball.
Spot on. So they worked it well. And the Blues, I suppose every time there is a glimmer of hope, it has been snuffed out by the Roos. Out of the middle again, Simpson, Christou, Porter. It'll run on. Archer will give a contest. Well done, Beaumont. Knocked him off the ball. Well done in the end. Porter kept it in. Livingston, what's his left foot like? He missed Cranage, but at least he's able to run onto it. Bandry will win out. So at least they get a reprieve, the Blues, and have that time to readjust. It's half forward out of side. Kangaroos still in to attack. It's a 42-point lead. Straight 7 goals. Ball will come in. Burton slaps it back to the boundary. Robbins and Cranage making sure. Boundary throw in again. Tackles 30, 49 the Roos, playing 36 Blues. Ball will come in. Burton allows it to run. Robbins good. Grant around the body. Inside 50 are the Roos. Archer slapped it back. McCartney stood his ground. Livingston nearly knocked off the ball. Great pressure at the moment from the Roos. Christou, Eccles, Cranny's a little bit of run now. Fletcher in long. Teague has a sit and Teague has a mark.
He's impressive, this young player, Teague.
Reminds me so much of Glenn Archer.
Maybe he hasn't got the leg speed of Glenn Archer, but certainly he's 100% committed.
Can always improve in that area. Half forward it is. Porter actually slapping away from goal. Makepeace goes in. Got the body behind, or the pads behind the ball. He did well to keep it in front of himself. Rawlings too high. No, on Spawn. And again, between wing and half forward for the Roos. Outer side, we have a ball up.
Christou coming off the ground, Hodden to replace him.
Bounce on the wing. 42 points the advantage to the Kangaroos. Simpson thumps it out wide. Harvey will be first there, or will the boundary line beat him?
I've been watching this duel closely. Harvey, Franchina. Harvey has done so much running off the ball, and Franchina's just struggling to keep up with him at the moment. But although Harvey hasn't had too many possessions in this third quarter, he's working very hard to try and lose that tag in Franchina.
Harvey scrambles it forward. McCartney, good attempt, couldn't control it. Houghton, loose player and halfback Thornton. Oh, he kept his cool, kept his composure. Well played. High to half. Oh, spectacular leap by Sinclair. He's first to hit the ground. Good tackle on him. Camporiale goes in hard and ties it up.
Great recovery from Jess Sinclair. Was up and was down as quick as a flash. He does back himself third man up. Will fly for him. This time the team really wasn't penalised.
So a bounce at half forward for the Blues. Need a couple of goals. Comes down towards Rawlings. He can't control it. Eccles scrambles a kick out of the pack. Chance for Colbert. He just nonchalantly rolls away from half-back. Simpson on the logo. Burton. Well played by Wiggins. Grant a chance. Thornton, that was brilliant. He controlled it, but then gave it up. Grant concedes some ground. Blakey, nice little sidestep. Puts it on the boot from 55. Pickett's in the goal square by himself and marks. Marked to Pickett. Now, he marked that close to the goalpost. He should be coming round on about an 80-degree angle. He did the right thing and goes straight back to directly in front. But, gee, that's poor umpiring, because he marked that very close to the goalpost. Comes in and pumps it through. Byron Pickett kicks his second, and the Kangaroos extend the break to 8 goals.
Well, he did it pretty well not to juggle that ball. He took it cleanly. Had he juggled that ball, it probably would have been behind, but had the composure, knew that Livingston was coming at him to spoil the ball. Livingston probably really should have got body on him and actually should have tried to force that ball through with a bit of body contact, but terrific mark by Byron Pickett.
Hate to labour the point, but when you mark on the goal line and you're not right in the middle of the goal line, the law says you need to come right round on the angle, and he was pretty lucky there, Pickett.
Well, I got no idea, Chris, so I'll take your word for it.
Thank you, Dates.
So Simpson out of the middle, running onto it. Smith for the Roos, hands back. King, did it too easy, and then hands up to Smith, smothered by Eccles, will slap it out. Blues a chance. Prendergast, Lappin he's looking for. Makepeace has a set. Oh, what a mark!
Fantastic.
What a mark!
Did it well. He was opposed against Lappin. Had the ball fallen over the top. McKernan was there to pick the ball up and have a shot at goal.
So Burton allows Robbins to mark. Kangaroos will just chip into Sinclair, the left footer. Looking in long, Archer will wrestle. Well done, Livingston got back there to take a pretty good mark. So Blues will go out that outer side.
Marks paid. Spawn, defensive 50. This player at half-back, Houlihan, gets a cheer from the Carlton fans. Cranage to half-forward, McKernan and Martin. McCartan did well to get boot the ball. Now a chance for Camporeale. He needs to use McKernan. Handballs wildly. Rawlings couldn't control it. Numbers with the Blues. Hutton out wide. Another chance for Camporeale. Back to Hutton. A left foot snap is good. Carlton get one back through Trent Hutton. And you've got to give it to the Blues. They really have been very competitive, apart from a few patches where the Kangaroos have dominated. So the margin back to 42 points, close to three-quarter time.
Well, Trent Hutton's first goal made hard work out of the Blues up forward. Had to work very hard. We see Camporeale being instrumental in this third quarter. He was able to get the ball over to Trent Hutton, who got in that piece of play on a number of occasions. Great left foot snap.
Three-quarter time not far away. Just under 29 minutes into this third quarter. Britain still barking instructions with three-quarter time, as I said, not far away. Players go in. This is where the Roos certainly have been in control.
It'll probably be a reasonably long quarter. 12 goals have been kicked.
It's pretty much opened up the game again. General play. Have their hands full at the moment. Carlton certainly would be giving your players a free licence to just run forward to the ball. Fletcher in long, Lappin will come out. It was always going to be a hard mark. Teague mopping up, hands off to Mickey Martin. In long, Spider was never going to mark it. Flat-footed Robbins through the traffic. Rawlings did well, clever. Pickett can go to Grant, and Pickett decides to go back and have a shot at goal. And Byron Pickett has two. Could have had a couple more. There was one by Rocker sockered through in that second quarter, early part of that second quarter. He certainly has made another goal, so has another chance.
And that opportunity once again resulted from a quick kick out of the pack by Rawlings.
Playing the percentages at the moment, and Pickett will miss. It goes to the left. So 15-10, 100 for the Kangaroos, 9-3 is the Blues score.
Dennis Pagan and Tony Elshaw. I'm sure very happy with the lead that the Kangaroos have got, although not so much with the way they've played. Eccles picks out Cranage. Thought about giving it to Fletcher. He decides to transfer play. And a dubious looking handball. Beaumont has to work. He does. Now uses Fletcher. thought about going on to Spawn. Instead kicks out wide where Thornton's made position. Very impressive young player. Thornton. Can he use the football effectively? Kick towards Lappin. Can't mark. Makepeace reads it off his hands brilliantly. No one to kick to. And downfield for a push. Lappin and Makepeace get a little tangle. Umpire James, the emergency umpire. Now, what's umpire Mitchell doing? Ball must come back. It'll be taken by Smith. No one stands the mark. So he kicks to half forward. McCartney in front. Fist from Livingston effective. Bad bounce for Eccles. Robbins. Grant. Now Simpson hard up against the line. That's a brilliant piece of smothering work by Andrew Merrington. So a pretty good quarter by the Kangaroos. They've kicked 8 goals, 3. Blues still kicked 4 of their own. They've kicked 4-1. Brilliant burst in the early part of the quarter by the Kangaroos. It's really blown this game apart. Porter reaches over the top. Franchina. Cranage, a little fumble. Can't afford to do that. Puts Eccles under pressure. He's good enough to get out of it. Livingston. Run provided by Beaumont. Loose player at halfback is Wiggins. Takes off. Kicks it poorly. Straight down the throat at Harvey.
Great chasing by Archer and Pickett.
Harvey sprays it out wide. Ball running towards the line. Blakey can't stop it. So a boundary throw in.
I mentioned the chase there. Dennis Pagan will be delighted with the chase of Archer and Pickett to force that turnover. Wiggins was under pressure. Had Pickett not chased out of the goal square, that ball would not have been turned over.
The United Carlton board looking on. Comes to Grant from Smith.
You reckon they're feeling the pinch, those boys?
Kick inside, attacking 50. The siren sounds for three-quarter time. And the Kangaroos in control. As I said, they kicked 8 goals, 3 in that quarter to Carlton's 4 goals, 1. But most of those goals came between the 4-minute and 10-minute mark, where they really just played some electrifying football.
Well, they did. They came out after half-time and they did turn the heat up. It was evident by their tackling rate actually increased. Their hardness at the ball and their willingness to support each other was very evident, and they had an outstanding quarter, kicking 8 goals to 4.
Yes, it certainly was, as we watched the Kangaroo players come to the huddle at three-quarter time. It's been a pretty good quarter, and at three-quarter time, it's the Kangaroos leading by 43 points.
And it is a huge blow for him and the Kangaroos. You might have also seen then in that break, Wayne Britton certainly held his players and had a lot to say. He held the huddle for about a minute longer than the Kangaroos.
Thanks very much, Christy. Well, final quarter almost underway. The Kangaroos in control. They lead by 43 points. Burton beats Houghton, who's now in the rut. Robbins out wide. Chance for Rawlings. Good handball. Harvey, some acceleration we're so accustomed to. Kicks inside, attacking 50. Archer marks in front of his chest.
Well, that's where they were so good in that third quarter, and it gives you an idea of one of the luxuries in football is your ability of versatility. Archer, after half-time, or in that third quarter as a forward, and then you had Spider Burton actually drifting down as a forward, finishing off.
Loads up, kicks to the goal square at the back. Porter! Well, he was 5th man up, I think, but he had the sit and was able to hold on. And that's a great mark in a big pack of tall-making players. And this will be a dream start to the final quarter for the Kangaroos.
Very good mark by Mark Porter here, but poor defence by the Carlton defenders. 3 tall backmen up, not one of the backmen failed to hit the ball.
Porter rolls in and pumps it through. 49 points the lead. Well, great start to the final quarter of the Kangaroos.
Well, clearly with an advantage deep in the forward line. Good to see Brent Harvey just getting a bit of the ball. Hasn't had a big afternoon. Archer again presenting himself. That's a strong mark under pressure. And then the coup de grace. Porter able to mark and then finish off. And again, the Roos finishing. So they start this last quarter pretty well, and I think Dennis Pagan and his boys are eyeing off percentage here, clearly. Burton down. Fletcher stole it. Campriali's been the Blues' best. Back inside 50. Well done. Sinclair nudged Cranage under the ball and then out wide. It'll bounce. Robbins slip. Still have numbers. No, Lappin does well. Robbins dished it out to Smith onto Big Mickey Martin. Wing it is. Livingston not able to mark it. Then goes back, hands off Eccles. Carlton through the middle. Campriali around the body. Not directing it. McKernan did well. Took the sting off. King stole it. Very scrappy at the moment. Cranage. Hands back. Murphy over the top. Spawn. Blues overusing it, but at least they've worked it into space. Houghton will mark. So they're on that opposite side of the ground, half forward, long way from home. They need to find someone. I don't know if that was a great kick. Martin slaps it away. Just got a hand to it. Rawlings, King to the boundary. And that will be enough. No, it stays in. Out of side. Blues get a second helping. Fletcher chips in. And again, this guy has picked them off. Roos are running. Grant back to Pickett. They're into the middle. Will take a bounce. I think he knows Hickmott's there. Confronted by another. Did it easy. Then loads up. It's too far. Byron Pickett was looking for support. And in the end, the Blues end up with it.
I reckon he was looking to go all the way, Dukes.
Well, when he was confronted again, he knew Hickmott was there.
He did run a long way. Murphy has it, slips over. He was legged. We got a free kick. Dylan Smith, the offending player. Murphy, inside attacking 50. Oh, great mark. Oh, no. Almost taken at ground level by Franchina. Robbins, good tackle by Cranage. Ties him up. And a bounce 20 metres from the Carlton goal.
Been a good pickup for him, young Robbins.
He certainly has. He's had a fine year.
21 possessions.
Jess Sinclair, the leading possession winner on the ground with 28. He's taken 6 marks. He's been a solid contributor all day. Burton, deft touch. Cranage sharks it, snaps and goals. Great snap from Sam Cranage, deep in the pocket. He read it off the hand of Spider Burton brilliantly. So the first goal of final quarter to the Blues.
Well, smart footy by Sam Cranage. The Kangaroos have dominated in the hit-out department, 39-17, and he realised that Burton was going to win that contest. So what did he do? He sharked the ball, which enabled him to kick a left-foot goal.
Just so important for the Blues to finish this game out or play it out. Sam Cranage, very good last week against a very good unit in Port Power, Port Adelaide. So the Blues get it back to 43. Burton down, Robbins. They worked that out before that ball up. It goes in long. Porter over the back, Archer's there. Thornton took it back in. Beaumont is there in support. And we will get a ball up 20 from the Roo goal.
Fantastic ruck work by Spider Burton there to get that down to young Robbins.
Steve, I'm impressed with Brett Thornton, just 18 years of age. He's got a lot of composure for a young player.
Yeah, a young kid that's come off the rookie list, so really has grabbed his opportunity this year.
Danger for Carlton. Porter. McCartney was there. It slapped down. Grant nearly got a kick through. Dylan Smith out to McCartney, who sat back out of the pack and misses in the end. So he's positioning spot on. And it's one thing to know how to play this game when you have possession of the ball, but it's another thing, and a key ingredient is knowing how to play football when you have not possession of the ball.
Dangerous kick from Murphy, but it did get to Franchina. Much, I'm sure, to his relief. Back to Murphy. Wiggins, another one of the young players that has really shown something this year. Spawn has been serviceable. Eccles, who's done very well since coming onto the ground. Beaumont provides the run. Now can he use it? Just wobbles it inside attacking 50. Mark taken by Colbert. Kicks across the ground to Rawlings in space. Can set something up here now, Brady Rawlings. Gets a shepherd from Sinclair. Loose player on the wing is Grant. He can run. Pickett is loose at half forward. Kicks in his direction. Pickett marks. What will he do? I thought for a moment he just may have put the foot down and taken on the Carlton defence.
Spiders loitering close to the goal square.
Byron Pickett decides to take his time.
Beautiful movement of the football from the Roos. They took it out, and I made mention about it, just so important that Carlton play the game out, but again, the Roos really do have to finish off well.
Byron Pickett. Kick to go in the second quarter from 40 metres. He's kicked another one. Now the Kangaroos have their 17th, and the margin blows out now to 50 points.
It's been a funny game for Byron Pickett. He's only had the 8 touches. You would have thought he would have at least had probably 12 to 15 touches, but that was his 3rd goal. I guess that's a sign of a quality player. Uses every possession.
I think it's how he wins them. He draws attention to himself. Three goals to Byron Pickett. And Spider will contest Harvey the option. No, down again, too easy. Smith and the Roos into attack. Porter, it's got it.
Gee, wasn't that comical?
Spot on, Rizzo. What a description. They did it beautifully.
That's a training drill, the way they executed that.
It's actually, if I take my mind back, a little bit like Justin Madden to down to Greg Williams in there, hey, Gagan. Fantastic work by Spider.
If that was a tennis shot, it would be hard-pressed to describe that from Spider Burton. Oh, he misses Porter. Sits on that solitary goal. It's 17-12, 114 Kangaroos. The Blues 10-3, 63.
Margin is 51 points, the biggest of the match. Cam Boreal, who's tried very hard today. He's been Carlton's leading possession winner with 26. It's in the back pocket, Franchina. Loose player, Hickmott, still inside defensive 50. But in space. Kick to the lead of Plunkett, chipping in. Well played, Rawlings. Dumps it back inside attacking 50 or Carlton. Mark taken by Beaumont. Thought about kicking to Wiggins. And then kicks to a couple of Blues. Murphy and Houlihan. Murphy takes it. Not too popular this afternoon, Justin Murphy. Looping handball. Houlihan inside attacking 50. Christo. Punch from Colbert. Ball close to the line. Sinclair. Houlihan did well. Now a chance for Plunkett. During in from the side. He's marked. And his name written on that, Jordan During. And chance from about 30 metres on a 45-degree angle to kick Carlton's 11th goal.
Yeah, he hasn't had a big day, Jordan During. Spent some time on the interchange bench, but he's a pretty good kick for goal.
During kicked 4 goals this season. Comes in, pokes the left foot and squeezes it through. Goal to Carlton. So the Blues have goal number 11, margin back to 45 points.
Well, I suppose their method in getting the ball forward at the moment, a little bit confusing with the Blues. They're really working hard for everything. They're lacking the run of the Roos at the moment. And again, During, 3rd man up, as you called it, Chriso, got himself in position. And the Blues have a goal. .45-point lead sees it at the moment. The Roos enjoy. Plunkett off, Prendergast back on. This is where they've dominated Roos. Back Burton to Smith, just knocked off the ball. Robbins wrapped up by 3 Carlton players. We will end up with a ball up again. 11 minutes just over into this last quarter.
Simon Crean and Dr. Alan Aylett watching on.
So Lappin tries to push through. Hickmott nearly did. Eccles on to Franchina, out wide to Murphy. They're on the move, he drills it. Christo, good mark. Good move in the football from the Blues.
It was a good mark by Christo. Hasn't played much footy up forward over his career at Carlton, but playing on Mick Martin, you'd know that Mick was right behind you.
Will he go one more, Sauce?
Ange? I guess that's going to be a match committee question at the end of the year. I'm pretty sure that Ange would like to play at least another season.
Well, he won't go on as a forward. He's missed this one. 17-12 Kangaroos, 11-4 is Carlton's score.
Makepeace. Martin.
And I'll just put you on notice, Sauce, Wayne Britton, and where he lies in the equation.
Well, we'll give him some think music there. Rawlings. McKernan, a spectacular mark. Out wide, Camporeale has a chance to set something up for the Blues. Houlihan, kick was poor. Makepeace mopped up. His handball was equally as poor. Camporeale, another chance, gets it to Lappin. Hard up against the line. Fletcher needs to get it on quickly. Took a long time. Prendergast. Now Houlihan. What can he conjure up here? Kick towards Christou. He's got no. He dropped the single mark in the end, and his handball missed the mark. Murphy's still a chance for Carlton. Steady. Left foot. Is it a goal?
It's a goal.
Well, they had to work hard for that, the Blues. Murphy's kicked two. But you've got to admire their effort. They kept at it.
Well, they have, and they've done it, I guess, all day. But at no stage have they possibly tossed the towel in. I guess the concentration, or maybe the Kangaroos' desperation and commitment have been probably outweighed the Carlton effort. But certainly here, the Blues are still fighting this game out to the end.
I think they have something up their sleeve here. Look, the Blues won't win this game, but I think certainly Ange Christou has an advantage over Martin. Certainly his ability to move on to the football. It's just creating problems for Mick Martin at the moment. McKernan out of the middle. Blues try to go forward. Makepeace basketball. Take the sting off onto Robbins. Roos are back into attack, looking for a goal to reverse it. McCartney. Houghton will run out on that left foot. Has he won? Fletcher over his head, running onto a David King. Wrapped up. Got a kick to it. Robbins missed it. Smith onto Robbins. Into goal we go. It'll drop short. Carlton players drop down. Actually back to Archer, pushing his way through, then off the ground. Murphy did well. Beaumont, you're in trouble, says Byron Pickett. And it's 15 from goal, and we have a ball up as Smith comes off for the Roos. Stewie Cochrane will make an appearance.
Beaumont did pretty well there because he knew if he got rid of the football, he was in trouble. So he just held it in, knew the tackle was coming, and the resulting ball up.
So Porter and Houghton. So the Roos really have to try and manufacture something here. Porter with a clear advantage. Houghton did well to push the body in, then over the ball. And not out of danger just yet, Carlton, because we have another ball up. And the second part of that was, and I wanted to add, just with Wayne Britton, it's a pretty hard environment to be working in. I mean, each week he's under, I suppose his job's on the line. I mean, whether he has a job, whether he hasn't a job. And I suppose John Elliott did come out a few weeks ago in support, and yet John Elliott looks on shaky ground.
And I guess I've spent some time in the coach's box, and it's been a very difficult year. Times where we've been in the game that we've had a chance to win the game. We haven't been able to go to a bench situation. We've had injuries on the bench. But he's had a difficult year to coach this year. And I'm telling you, if Wayne Britton is there next year, he will experience some very good advice over this year. And to have the quality players of Kuta, Foodies and Whitmore and McKay and these type of players out of your side, it's very hard to coach a footy team when your senior core of players is out of that side. And I can tell you now, Wayne Britton is doing the best he possibly can, given the cattle that's out on the ground at the moment.
Fair enough. Geez, he's given that microphone a bit of a spanking this afternoon. He hasn't stopped yapping away. So 20 from goal. The only saving grace for the Blues is it's about 6-7 metres in from the boundary. During style and then dribbled it out, sitting back behind the ball and missing it. Sinclair, one of the rare times Lappin. This is better from the Blues. At least they drew and then they're running it. Fletcher supported by Camporeale with the block. Into the air. Teague has to turn around. Well done, Christou. Gave a contest. Ecclesave around it. Mickey Martin back in. Christou's there. And it's inside 50 and we get a ball up. Blues into attack.
It was good play by Christou. He was never going to take that mark, but he made it a contest. And he had a second effort on being able to hold that ball inside Carlton's forward 50.
Is that the new Carlton coach?
You're kidding,
oh,
Dogs.
Oh, well, I'll throw something in.
Bounce inside, attacking 50 for the Blues. Kernan takes it out, just handballs hoping. Houlihan perhaps needed to go for it. Christo and Martin doing the rumba, about 25 metres from the Carlton goal. And they're still going. Fighting for the right to give the football up to umpire Mitchell. Dennis Pagan calling for the phone.
Well, I don't suppose his deal at Kangaroo Land is setting concrete at the moment.
No, you're exactly right. Houlihan did well, rode the bump, snap towards goal, bouncing, goal to Ryan Houlihan. So the Carlton side have fought on against adversity in this final term. And Ryan Houlihan has bobbed up and kicked his first goal of the afternoon.
Well, yeah, Ryan's had an indifferent season. Certainly one player that probably hasn't fulfilled his potential this year, but probably been a bit of a learning experience for him over the course of the year. But that just shows the type of talent this young man has. And Carlton will be looking for a huge amount of improvement in this fella in the coming years.
Well, they've kicked the last three, the Blues.
And the Roos have stopped again. Done well to get it back to within 32. Burton, Cochrane goes in, head over the ball, Archer over Cochrane. Loose ball loads up and long as McKernan. Hickmott with the sit, has got it. It's a marker of free. At least they're finishing the game out, Carlton.
And I can't stress enough, Dates, that a quick, long kick out of the middle. As a forward, that's all you want. You don't need a perfect kick. You just want to be able to have a 50-50 contest with your opponent. On this occasion, Corey went long to the top of the square. Hickmott was in the right position.
Well, Hickmott, hard work completed with that big, strong mark, kicks a goal. And they have another. So Hickmott has his first, Adrian Hickmott. Blues have 14. They've kicked well, they've kicked straight, and they've got it back to within 26. McKernan, the supply in, has a good mark under pressure. And that is an area that the Blues really have lacked this afternoon.
Carlton have kicked the last 4 goals of the game, and the margin is back to 26 points. So Dennis Pagan would not be happy with this finish by the Kangaroos at all, because percentage will be so crucial come the end of the season for a top 8 spot. Burton smothered off the boot. Wiggins, Spawn, out wide to Murphy, and the Blues kick another couple. Oh, he went to go and tripped over. Plunkett on the bounce, kicks out wide. Lappin will need to outmaneuver Sinclair, he does. Numbers though with the Kangaroos, and they win out. They're 3-on-1 there. Wobble towards the wing. Grant over the top. Wiggins well plays, he attacks it and finds the boundary line.
Oh, nearly in trouble.
Centre wing. Simon Wiggins, 19 years of age, in his 16th game.
Playing on Byron Pickett as well.
Yeah, he's a very good young player. Murphy just sitting at the back of the pack. Kick around the body. Burton with the height. Lappin, the fall of the ball. Plunkett, who's run from the wing. Can they take another mark? McKernan! McKernan's mark, 20 metres from goal, directly in front. And I know it's, when you look at the scoring shots, you'd think, well, Kangaroos have killed Carlton, but we've said a couple of times, but for just a couple of 6-minute patches where the Kangaroos turned it on, Carlton have been right in this game. McKernan kicks his fourth, and margin is back to 20 points. Dare I say it, there's enough time.
There is enough time, but you think too much of the burden lays on Corey McKernan. He's probably Carlton's only tall, yet he's playing in the ruck, so he's got a big load that he has to carry. You think he'd have to kick the next 2 or 3 goals for the Blues to have a chance to win this game.
Well, they've kicked the last 5. And haven't we seen a number of times this season, sides just stop dead in this final term and get overrun, or almost overrun.
Yeah, well,
You're shaking your head, Dave?
well, the Roos, really, I think that's a little bit of a concern. It'd have to be for Dennis Pagan.
Well, they tied last week, didn't they, against the Swans?
Done that in the last 5 weeks. Hard to try and pinpoint the games, but certainly part of this game that would have disappointed him. Wayne Britton probably asking himself why the Blues haven't been able to play 4 consistent quarters as they have done the last 10 minutes. On to King, evades one, and then around the corner, no one home, Murphy. I'll tell you what, the Blues could be a chance. Chips up to Houlihan, players, Cambriali's running forward of the ball, into the pocket, Colbert. Well, good contest. Knocked it away from Eccles. And just under 23 minutes last quarter, and the heat certainly on the Roos. They need a goal just to take the heat off.
Did it well, Colbert. He did it the flight of the ball.
Ball comes in. Porter taken out by Lappin. Colbert buries the head over the ball and then dishes it out. Grant wrapped up by a couple of Carlton players.
Gee, that was so close. That kick from Houlihan almost got to him.
Well, inches can be the difference.
Dennis Pagan, what do? What instructions do you give here? The onslaught, Simpson to the boundary. Boundary throw in again. Merrington, Franchina on the bench. Ball to come in, a goal here. Brings it back to 14 points. Porter through his hands, then goes back in. Cambriali confronts him. Porter shrugs a couple. Cochrane missed it. Cambriali's somewhere in there. And we get a ball up again, 25-30 from the Carlton goal. Anthony Stevens.
Over 5 minutes on the clock, so Carlton's definitely still a chance. The Kangaroos slowing this game down.
Ball to be bounced. Porter. Good contest. McKernan's there. Porter kept off the ball. Loose ball. Robin straight into the air. Houlihan's there. Oh, running with a flight. Eccles. Met by his teammate it was. Loose ball. Hickmott not able to dish it out. And we have our 5-minute warning.
We do indeed. And thanks, just to give you an idea, the quarters so far, first quarter 27 minutes and 9 seconds, second 28 minutes and 8 seconds, and a long third quarter with all the goals kicked, 12 in all, 32 minutes and 57 seconds. So 5 minutes of actual game time left in this match. Plunkett going nowhere.
Just watching the Carlton runner. He's out there telling him to keep that forward line open. Of course, North defenders, also midfield players are trying to drop back into that hole to crowd the Carlton forward line up.
And Carlton need to get one quickly if they're to stand any chance. Murphy can't get clear, and the Kangaroos doing pretty well just to bottle it up.
Great tackling there by young Smith.
Kangaroos at the 9-minute mark of this final quarter, led by 51 points. The Blues have kicked the last 5. Eccles thumps it forward. Kangaroos over it. Plunkett tries to wrest it free. Cambriali at ground fighting. And again, Kangaroo players force a bounce.
Well, a great scragging game from the Blues. They've really made a good contest, and certainly an area that they've stopped the Roos in is that ability to just run the ball away with no pressure.
The problem here, McKernan's gone to the square, so they haven't got a true ruckman. Prendergast up against Porter.
Porter wins it predictably. Kick towards Livingston. Pickett at ground level, can't control it. Diving on the football, Archer, and again he holds it up. So it's been a good couple of minutes for the Kangaroos just to stop the momentum that Carlton had built up.
You see McKernan there. Michael Martin has picked him up.
Prendergast reaches over the top. Sinclair couldn't control it. And another bounce.
Well, the Roos would be enjoying this one at the moment. They're just bottling this game up. Archer positioning has been as a forward after half-time. He's in and around this football. You have Pickett well up the ground as well. No one inside 50 for the Roos. Players go in. Bodies clash. And again, Johnny Blakey's there, and we get a free kick. And that's the only way to clear the pack of players. Carlton come up with a Camperali to supply in. Has to be quick, slipped over. It's a mark to Carlton. Jimmy Plunkett. And it was one of the Roo players that actually slipped.
Well, if we cast our mind back to last week, at a critical stage, Jimmy Plunkett had a chance for about 25 metres to kick a goal to almost get the lead for Carlton against the Power, so a big chance here.
Yeah, spot on there. A chance to redeem himself.
Plunkett with a chance. Not sure they have enough time. They're giving it a go, the Blues. Jimmy Plunkett misses. Minor score. Back to 19 points.
Inside the final 5 minutes of playing time. You'd think the quarter would go at least 30 minutes. King. Livingston at the back. Morrell made a contest. Cranage. He needs to use it effectively here, Sam Cranage. He doesn't. He gives it straight up, and that's poor disposal.
It was a poor kick. He had 3 Carlton players free there. Yet his skill kicking let him down.
Harding, Sinclair.
Well, they will not move this ball forward now. Just Sinclair, just hang on to it, so will the Roos.
Carlton do pretty well to man up in their attacking 50, so there's no short option on for Sinclair, who comes in for possession number 30. Just hoists it high. Contest on the wing. Fist. All Kangaroos at the fore. Makepeace. Dribbles it around the corner, and McCartney just helps it over.
Fair game by Sinclair. Possessions, 30 possessions for the day, and he was played as a back pocket and half-back flanker.
McKernan thumps it forward. Plunkett, can he control it? He can, but he can't get his arms clear to affect a handball. Well tied up by Smith. Time running out now for the Blues. Not that Dakes ever thought they were any genuine chance of getting up and snatching this. Plunkett, his handball was poor. Murphy made it look okay, but Houlihan's forced over the line.
It was a poor handball. He went to the outside where he could have gone into the inside of ground. The inside of the ground where he had 2 Carlton players running.
Boundary throw in again. Again, it's tied up.
I suppose you look at the way they've scored their goals, and they really have worked pretty hard, and there hasn't been a real system to their ability to score. Carlton, Houlihan kicked one around the corner, ball came out to him. Murphy in the last quarter. I mean, you can manufacture goals, and they've just really grinded this game out. The Blues have done well.
Well, you'd think Wayne Britton would love a couple of extra tall targets. If he had Whitnall and say Kurtafiti's up forward, well then he's got a bit of flexibility up there. At the moment, Corey McKernan as a tall forward, he's playing a lone hand.
Simpson took it out, pushed it forward, Pickett over the line, and we get a boundary throw in.
We shouldn't take anything away from the Kangaroos today, though. They did flex their muscles when their muscles had to be flexed, and the game was up to be won. They did it, and they did it convincingly.
You just have to ask yourself against good opposition, though, Sauce, and they're going into a final series. That has to be the consideration, because we've seen them probably over the last 5 weeks give up some leads, look a little bit tired, and when you consider the workload of Anthony Stevens, Simpson, you know, Brent Harvey in the middle, they really do get rotated.
And Dakes 51 points up earlier in this quarter, and from a percentage viewpoint, could prove very costly for them.
And it gives you an idea of just the way they're structured in defence. So thrown out, allowed to go on, Rawlings in long, Archer has got it. One of the rare times in this last quarter, Archer has to be quick as Carlton start to drop back. As the siren goes, a long afternoon for Wayne Britton, and possibly the same for Dennis Pagan, because they gave up a pretty good lead. They've still come home with the 4 points, and Glenn Archer, with this game yet to finish, will load up with a talk. 60 out, and it'll drop in the goal square, or just in front. It's all over. And Dennis Pagan and his boys pretty happy to end up with the 4 points. 17-12, 114 Kangaroos defeated the Blues 15-5-95.
Well, the Kangaroos will be happy with the 4 points. They're up against an unknown quantity in Carlton. I guess the 4 points they'd be happy with, but a little bit disappointed that they didn't finish the game off. Of course, percentage could be crucial come the end of the year, but they shouldn't take anything away from the rest of the Carlton side.
Let's go down on ground. Jess Sinclair's with Christy Malthouse.
Thanks, Michael. Well, Jess, it was a great win, but they certainly came at you at the end there.
Yeah, it got a bit scary there for a minute. We just stopped running. It's really not good enough by us, but full credit to Carlton. They kept at it all day, and yeah, got pretty close in the end. You
looked pretty tired in the last quarter. Is that sort of what it was, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think just because we know we've got a comfortable lead, a few players might relax or whatever, but I know it's something we've got to address, I think.
What about yourself? A great game. I mean, certainly one of the best on ground. You seem to be gaining confidence each week.
Yeah, I guess switching down backs has given me a bit of confidence, and you know, the coaching staff has said just back yourself in, so I'm just taking off as much as I can, so it's good.
How much are you enjoying the club this year?
Oh, heaps better. I've had a couple of hard years in the past, but hopefully it's starting to turn around.
What is the feeling like around the club at the moment? I mean, a win now certainly keeps you up there in the 8, so heading into September, what's the feeling like?
Yeah, we're pretty positive. You know, we've had a few injuries. I think we lost Severio as well, but you know, the spirit's really high around the club, and I'm sure if we're on our game, we'll give it a shake.
Thanks, Jess. Michael.
Jess Sinclair with Christy Malthouse, and Steve, he was fantastic. 30 possessions, 7 marks, a real 4-quarter effort from Jess Sinclair.
Well, I believe that he was the player that set it up for the Kangaroos. His first half was outstanding. He gave him plenty of drive, and Carlton failed to match him up. Certainly, the other player for the Kangaroos was young Robbins. So Sinclair and Robbins, both from other clubs or come from other clubs, have really set themselves a really good milestone or benchmark for the Kangaroos.
Well, the Kangaroos survived a spirited Carlton comeback in that final quarter. They led by 51 points at the 9-minute mark of the final quarter, the Kangaroos, but Carlton kicked the last 5 goals of the match just to fail by 19 points. Back to sum up after the break.